Now, Daddyfreeze, a former OAP, now a blogger, he has said things about people, but the mistake is this. A lot of people think that bloggers are saints or they are perfect. Bloggers are not advocates per se, depending on how you choose to view them, in what light you choose to see them. What am I trying to say? Many people believe that Daddyfreeze talking about other people's marriage, such as that of Edochie and Judy Austin, equals to him showing example as a man of integrity. Well, that is not what it is. A blogger simply reacts to whatever it is that is out there, and they put out their own thoughts and expect you to react to it. If you now say you're a pastor that must leave an example, or you say you are an activist that must leave an example, then it's a different thing. What am I trying to say? This story is on social media, and I knew about this all this while. I had followed it up back then, not because it was a story. I listened to the Daddyfreeze himself, and I realized that he started having problems with his wife, although they had issues in the past, but he started having more problems with his wife due to his adultery. He was actually benching women. Now, you might say, do you have evidence? One of the evidence is this one. Daddyfreeze was actually benching a married woman back then who had issues in her marriage. So she was not officially divorced, or maybe, let's say, she was not 100% separated, or she was on the verge of separation before meeting Daddyfreeze. Daddyfreeze also was having problems. He wasn't successful as he wanted to. And problems with his spouse, ex-wife then. So Daddyfreeze wanted to be in Lagos doing his thing. The wife, I think, resides in Ibadan, where Daddyfreeze is from. Problems. Eventually, the marriage broke apart. I'm going to go through what is there on social media, because the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt has upheld the fine imposed on Ifedayo Olarinde, aka Daddyfreeze, for committing adultery. The High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, and on February 18, 2021, ordered Daddyfreeze to pay the sum of 5 million naira for committing adultery with one Benedicta Edochie. Now, let me give you the background story. You see, Benedicta Edochie was married to a guy who works, I don't know if he still works there. He works in, I think, NNPC. That's where the guy works. And he is a bisexual, according to Benedicta Edochie, ex-wife. She did not know at first. They got married. She said she started observing this guy coming over, and she didn't really say anything about it. After all, it's not a dude, it's not a woman, it's not a lady. If it's a lady, maybe you say, oh, my husband is cheating on me. Who is this girl? Who is this lady that is always coming around my husband? But because it's a guy, she did not suspect anything at first. She didn't suspect, no foul play, nothing. She thought it was okay. Not until she started observing the closeness of this guy to a former husband. This guy would come into their room, and the way they were kind of interacting, she started feeling like, wait, there is more to what the eyes can see. What kind of affection is this? Like, what kind of friendship is this? This guy, somehow, he has started like contesting my position as wife in this house. I need to do something. So she started becoming more observant of the happenings around her. And to her amazement, one day, they say many days for the thief, one day for the owner. One day, she caught husband in the act, like they were cuddling and they were giving each other, things that people like them do. So they were doing those things. That was when she said, no, enough is enough. So you are bisexual, you try to marry me to make it appear like you are normal. So this is what you do. I didn't know that you are that kind of person. I don't know you do that. I don't know you go that way, but sorry, I cannot be in this marriage anymore. She said she is no longer interested. Now, that is adultery, regardless of the sex or gender involved. That's adultery. So she has the right to say enough is enough. Now, in between this, she was struggling to get herself off from the man. Like they were having issues as per property, having issues. The man said, I know people, I'm connected. Of course, obviously, he has a lot of money. So he said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I will break that. I will break the moon, the sky, the river. I will bring everything down. So the guy was trying to, trying to kind of stifle all the efforts of this lady to get a divorce, to be off like totally. And they already have about, I think, 3 or 4 children. So it's not like, they already lived their life. So Daddyfreeze came into the picture. Daddyfreeze, the lady had this place where food is made. And, they say food is the key to some men's heart. Not all men. My God. So Daddyfreeze kept filling his own stomach up and also filling the other part that needs to be filled. Now, the lady, I think, had moved out of her ex's house, and she started living her life. So when she and Daddyfreeze got together, they really got together. In between this, she was fighting the divorce, and she was, both of them were benching each other. That is all that this 5 million thing is all about. So Freeze, that is Ordering Day. I think I got that pronounced properly, but anyway, we'll get that right as we proceed. So he was ordered to pay the money, 5 million naira, to Paul Odekina, who was married to Edochie at the time the Adulterous Act was committed. The sum of 5 million naira is awarded against Ifedayo Olarinde, the second cross respondent to the cross petition, as damages for depriving the cross petitioner of the amiable consort of his wife, petitioner, first cross respondent, and for injuries suffered as a result of his adultery with the petitioner, Daddyfreeze. The court also dissolved the marriage contracted between Paul and Benedicta due to adulterous act with Daddyfreeze. Now, not satisfied with the High Court's judgment, Daddyfreeze and wife approached the appellate court for redress. Daddyfreeze's main grounds of appeal were that Odekina did not attempt to serve him personally before applying for substituted service, which violates Order 7, Rule 2 of the Rules of the Trial Court. Let us deal with that part of it. Is it substituted service is brought in or instituted when you cannot serve the individual at the registered address, meaning the court bailiff will take whatever needs to be taken down to the house where the person you're serving lives. So since that could not be done, or maybe he didn't try, according to Daddyfreeze, saying that there was no attempt to serve him personally before applying for substituted service, which I don't think holds water in any way. It doesn't really hold water per se, but then this is something for him to argue in court. So he said that Mr. Odekina violated Order 7, Rule 2 of the Rules of the Trial Court, that you have to be giving, physically, you have to hand it over to the person, and the person have to sign that I got this and that. Maybe if Daddyfreeze had gotten it then, I don't know if he would still be able to fight it. No, I was not benching. How do you know I was benching? The thing is that both of them were living together. So and also there is a child. So the man has all ground to do what there is a child before they even got married. Daddyfreeze had a child with this lady. So the man can as well say, yes, this is adultery. If there was no child between them, Daddyfreeze can as well say, no, there was no adultery, because I didn't do anything. So Mr. Odikina will have to prove and show in court. It's like the case of you, Edochie. Evidence is there. The children or the child then. So he also held that the purported service by the substituted means by the courier was not effective as shown in the affidavit of service, adding that the non-service violates the twin pillars of the principle of natural justice. In the certified true copy of the judgment dated June 26, 2024 and obtained on Friday, the three-man panel of Justice Abubakar, Dalami, and Anato dismissed Daddyfreeze appeal for lack of merit. Of course, that's what I said, that it does not hold water, that I was not served appropriately. She should have been served this way. The thing is, he claimed that he has served you. Maybe you are trying to run away, just like the case of Mohbad and his so-called ex-wife. The father of Mohbad is trying to serve, and Wunmi has been, they had to look for substitute, meaning they could use the national dailies or through electronic. So they said that if we should shut his mouth up and just pay 5 million, which I think is not so bad. It's not so bad. The 5 million naira is not a big issue. It's not a big deal. I want to believe that 2 months on social media, that if we should be able to raise 5 million from his social media platform, you should be able to raise 5 million naira from his social media platform and pay for benching someone else's wife. Like how we said you, Edochie, was benching someone else's wife. You all get what you all go what I'm saying? No, that's a joke. So it is what it is. So 5 million naira is not a big issue. It's not a big deal for enjoying someone else's thing, even though that person said, I don't want to be with this person anymore. This person did this, this person did that. I don't want to be with this person. I don't want to be with this person. It's a lesson to men out there. Stop benching women that have not been cleared totally. Yeah.